Peace to the beautiful queens and kings. Welcome back to my channel. That's period. I know it's been a long time. It's been a while since I made a video. So I'm gonna make this video really quick because I have a couple videos I need to do, and plus my daughter's in the background. Try to go to sleep. So if you hear that sound, that's white noise. That's the sound I use to put my daughter to sleep. So let's get to it. I got my tongue pierced 3 months ago, y'all. 3 months, right? And me with piercings, you know, I already know that I wasn't going to have a good experience. If you saw my nose piercing experience, there's always something going on with my piercings. Yes, I have a couple new ones, another one, and a symptom. But, yes. So with my tongue piercing, the first week when I got my tongue pierced, let's just talk about the pain and the procedure, right? So I wanted my tongue pierced since I was like in high school, right? It's a long story. I'm one of those people that love piercings. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get this piercing today. No more procrastinating, right? So I went to the piercing shop nearby me, and I sat with my tongue pierced. They was like, cool, let's get started. I spent probably like, I paid $25 or $30 for my tongue piercing. He didn't mark it. Like, I'm like, are you supposed to mark it? I want to see where you're going to put it at. He said, I don't need to mark it. I was like, but I want to see where you're going to put the piercing at. So he took like a marker, pen, whatever. He marked it, right? I'm like, that look kind of low. I'll tell you, no, fuck it. I have a short tongue, by the way. So he took the clamp. The clamp is what hurts, okay? The clamp, it doesn't hurt, but it's very uncomfortable. And plus, me having a short tongue is very uncomfortable. You know, he was squeezing on veins underneath my tongue. Very uncomfortable. He took the clamp. He pushed the needle through from the bottom, and I didn't feel anything. Or I just felt pressure. But it wasn't like, oh my goodness, I felt that, you know. It's like a confusing feeling, like, is he piercing it or is he just like pressing down with the clamp? That's how I felt. Out of all my piercings, I feel like that was the least painful piercing. I procrastinated for way too long. He pierced it. He put the bar in it. The bar is humongous, y'all. It's like this long. I'm not joking. Anyway, he put the bar in it, and then yeah, that was it. I was done with the piercing. After that, it was a lady in there about to get her ears pierced. She's like, oh, you got your tongue pierced? You got your tongue pierced? You better put some ice on it. Put some ice. No, but for real, like, she's like, I'm looking at her like, oh my goodness. Am I going to regret this? Like, am I really going to regret this? I'm someone that's not, I don't believe ice makes swelling go down. I personally feel like ice makes swelling worse. So I didn't take her advice. So that day, I was going on during my day. I was talking a lot that day, you know, really was. Fast forward, the first night, it didn't hurt. It started to swell. You know, I'm going to add clips in through the video. It started to swell a little bit. It didn't really hurt.
Hi guys, so it's later on in the day. I know I look crazy. I'm gonna let you guys know about my tongue. I have a lisp now. Like, the lips is getting worse. The swelling is starting to get develop, and yeah. Let me show you. Huh?
The second day, the same thing. The swelling got a little bit more bigger. The third day, that's where the swelling was the worst, right? So, like the fourth day of the piercing, I noticed that I had like a little bump, you know, the white bump you always get with a tongue piercing. I had that with mine. So, I ripped it off because some people on here on YouTube, we watch videos, they rip theirs off. So I did that to mine. Later on that day, I noticed I had like a little red little mark by my tongue piercing. You know, at the fourth day, it got worse, and I was like, you know what? Before this get affected, let me go back to them so they could check it out, right? And on that day, it got worse. The red mark got worse. Plus, it started to like hurt to touch. The red mark started to hurt to touch. It was like tender. You know, I was like, oh my goodness, is it affected? It didn't look affected, you know, it didn't feel affected. I did have discharge, but that's normal. Every piercing discharge. So I was originally cleaning my mouth, brushing my teeth 3 times a day, and I was rinsing it out with this mouthwash. This mouthwash is amazing. If you are getting a tongue piercing, I recommend this. This is Biotene. This is amazing, y'all. This mouthwash basically numbs the area that's irritated. It really feels good on your tongue piercing. It really do. So y'all gonna get a mouthwash, get this. It's alcohol free also. It feels really good. But I was brushing my teeth, but I had a new toothbrush after I got my piercing, new toothpaste. We were doing the mouthwash after everything I eat or drink that wasn't water, you know. But I developed that little pink ring, that little pink little thing by my tongue. So the piercer that wasn't the piercer that pierced my piercing, it was a different piercer. He told me,
oh, it's not affected. You just look irritated. Use Listerine with alcohol in it. Use that after everything you drink or eat. It's not water. And it should go away. Just in case it be good.
So I did that. I listened to him probably for like a half a day, you know. And it got worse. And it got irritated. Like, it's the actual tongue piercing, even the bottom started to hurt. So I had used this mouthwash. Listerine. This have alcohol in it. I used this one. So like the 4th or 5th day, that ring started to get worse. The following week, that ring got worse and bigger, and it started to hurt. Probably like the 6th day or 7th day, I'll probably say like the next week of me getting my tongue piercing, things were left, you know. My gland started to hurt. I heard that happens, but it hurt like it was hurting. Everything on my left side of my tongue, anything I would drink that's not water or eat will burn my tongue, and it started to hurt. Every time I swallow, from my ear down to my neck to my gland, it was hurting like really bad. I was like, oh hell no. Let me go and to the doctor to get this checked out. I don't think it was affected, but just in case it is, I want to get this situated before it go left, extreme left, right? Went to the doctor. Because of COVID, they wasn't allowed to check my mouth, so she could have like personally checked my mouth. But I did have pictures, and she saw it. She was like, wow, this is really red. It looked irritated. It don't look affected, but just in case it's starting to get affected, I'm going to give you antibiotics and antibiotic mouthwash. So I was on antibiotics for 5 days. I think I had to take 2 pills, I believe. It's big, huge pills, so I had to take like 2 pills, I think, for 5 days. I used the mouthwash like 3 times a day or 2 times a day. I don't know. I barely touched that mouthwash. It tasted nasty. But at the week after my antibiotics, I noticed that the pink ring started to get lighter. It started to get like a pale pink. You know, it started to started blending in with my tongue. I started to brush my teeth, my tongue after everything I ate, you know. I was doing that before, and then I stopped because I didn't want to irritate the piercing. So it was just a lot of things going on. You feel me? It definitely did. That piercing, though, the experience wasn't that long. You know, I would say that piercing healed really fast. You know, it healed really fast, and the piercing, the procedure itself, the piercing itself didn't hurt. And yeah. So after I got my tongue pierced, after it started to like the pink thing started to go away, I didn't have no more Biotin mouthwash, so I went back to Listerine mouthwash. But I would put like this much of Listerine in my mouth, and then I would dilute it with a lot of water, and I would do that probably twice a day, and throughout the rest of the day I would just rinse my mouth out with water. So since you saw some clips and pictures of my tongue and the experience, I'm going to tell you how I got rid of that ugly thing on my tongue. I don't think it was the antibiotics that got rid of it. I just think if you're someone like me, that whenever you get a piercing during the healing process, your piercing get like a bump, you know, it's basically like a scab. I don't know, but if you type of person that get bumps in your piercings and you thinking about getting a tongue piercing, you know, if this happened to you, because nowhere on the internet I saw my experience online. I did not see my experience online. So basically how I got rid of my tongue, right? That bump, that little pink ring, that lasted for like a month and a half, guys. A month and a half. So what I did was brush my teeth at least 3 times a day. After everything I ate for the first, I would say the first 2 weeks, I would brush my mouth, brush my tongue, everything, right? Mouthwash could be very irritating. I did use sea salt, and that dried up it made the piercing even worse. Okay? So if you're gonna use a mouthwash, probably like the first week, after the first week, you're gonna dilute your mouthwash because you don't want your pierce to be irritated. So dilute your mouthwash, you know. Brush your mouth after everything you eat, especially your tongue. Make sure you really brush your tongue so there's no particles left in your tongue. Remove your mouth everywhere. And once the swelling goes down, okay, because I feel like this played a big part of my piercing problem. Once the swelling go down and it doesn't hurt, change that bar immediately. My piercer said I have to wait a month to change. On here, I see people say they gotta wait a week. My piercer said a month because your piercer is gonna be off and on swelling, which is true. So I would say wait a month, you know, let your tongue go back to regular size, you know, and then change that bar. That bar, I feel like played a long part because it was so long. It was being like pushed back, you know, it was pushed down my tongue. It would get caught. It was just in the way. It would get yanked. It was irritating the tongue piercing because it was so long. It was in the way. But be careful because when I first changed my tongue piercing, y'all, I had a regular tongue piercing. This is the bar they give you where they pierce your tongue. It's humongous, very long, right? I changed my tongue piercing to this one. It's just short. I love this one. It's short. When I first changed my tongue piercing, it was so tight and uncomfortable. I changed it back to this long bar. I gave it probably like another week, and I changed it back because my tongue was still a little swollen. It was still a little tight, but it wasn't too uncomfortable. Okay, so your tongue get used to it. But if it's too uncomfortable for you, go back to the original bar you had until you feel like the tongue is back to regular size or the swelling went down even more. Don't force it, okay? So I changed my tongue back to this one. When I tell you, the week of me changing my tongue piercing to this and keeping it in, that little red thing went away. Like dramatically, like immediately dramatically. Because I went back to the piercer to give it okay to see if I could still change it, even though I had that pink ring around my tongue. He said as long as it don't hurt, you could change it. And that's why I did. The next week of me having this one in, that thing went away. So even though it went away, you still gotta keep your mouth clean. So I have a new one now. It is blue and my tongue don't look like that. As you can see. So please pay attention to yourself, okay? Keep your mouth clean. Brush your teeth after everything you eat. Mouthwash. Whenever you mouthwash, dilute the mouthwash. Do not use any mouthwash with alcohol. I would suggest to stay away from Listerine because that's still strong. Okay. Drink plenty of water. You want to be hydrated, okay? I think that was caused me having this because in that whole process I was very dehydrated for a long time. So stay hydrated, change the bar when swelling go down to a shorter bar, and keep your mouth clean. And everything will be fine, like that's basically what happened with my tongue piercing experience. It was really ugly, but the process was really fast, y'all. Like really fast. Like it wasn't crazy like my nose was. My nose took months. That bump took months to go away, like months. That pink ring took basically like a month and a half. I noticed it the second week. Basically like the second week or after the first week of my tongue piercing. Month and a half of having my tongue piercing and went away. Sometimes it's just how your body heals, But I am done, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to put it down in the comments below, and I will answer it. And yeah, peace. Thank you for watching, and that's period.